Good morning, YouTube. Good morning, family. I'm practicing my video. Today, I'm watching the news. I'm hearing a lot of controversy about Alex Jones' show, gun control, other topics of the day. I don't really want to go into those too much. I'm going to try to talk about something a little different. What compelled me to build my '79 Ford van into an RV? It's actually a long story. I grew up in a town called Stockton, California. And when you grow up in a town, you meet people. It's a massive networking situation for those who didn't have a hometown per se because of whatever reason. So I didn't leave really, not entirely until I was about 30. Two, three, something like that. But I'd grown up in Stockton. My father was from the area. My mother was from an area not too far away. And most of the people I knew, it was the same thing. Their families were from the area. And, when there's ups and downs to coming from a town like Stockton, Stockton was a really nice place when my parents first moved to Stockton proper. And I developed business connections. It was very easy for me to start little enterprises. And then, I didn't know it at the time. I see now that it was globalism and their agenda that made the place inhabitable. Stockton always had this pretty hardcore underbelly, but there was rules to it, and people didn't kill people as much, and the globalism took over, and the real violent gangs were there from LA and other Guatemala and you name it. America's very familiar with that problem. But Stockton was one of the first on the list. And then it drastically, culturally changed. The government started extorting the public. Well, they probably always did that, but I mean, I had never seen it in such overt ways. And the ethics dropped. So, your grandmother might take her car to get the brakes done at a local place, and they don't do anything to it. And they charge my grandmother $260. And when the ethics in a town drop so far that that's how it is in business everywhere, you got to either keep your eye on them. And then people, they start adopting that business philosophy because it gets done to them and it's the only way they can offset the losses. I was operating my business at that time in Stockton, small handyman business. And I found myself being pilfered. And I didn't want to adopt those practices just to adapt to my environment. It didn't seem worth it. I mean, by then I was appraising Stockton for what it was. You know, a lot of the sentimentality had left. So I had to leave Stockton. Globalism made it uninhabitable. Oh, and another thing they did. 3/4 of the people became informants because they were being manipulated. I don't know all the details. You know, I've always been pretty above board with my business affairs. I'm old school that way. Want happy customers and I care about what they think. And I didn't have any problem financially, you know, supporting Stockton in some degree when I was working out of the place. But a lot of people felt the need to abuse power. It just made the place uninhabitable, and certainly nowhere. Everybody that I had grown up with that could had left. So as soon as I could, I did. I went up to a small town on the coast of Northern California, and I started a small business up there. I made a lot less money, and I had to get used to a world that operated with less zeros. And ultimately, that was good for me. It helped me see what I really want and what I need and what I think I need and what I think I want. Humboldt County helped me figure that out. Now, Humboldt County gets a little boring, and my family was moving, and things were changing for me. And I found myself in a small town in San Rafael, California. I still have, that's in Marin County, right north of San Francisco. Nice little town for the most part. But it's really sewed up, man. You know, it's like starting a small business there is super expensive and a lot of competition. Not impossible, but, you know, a little bit of an uphill pull, you know. There's a lot of overhead there. The cost of living is very expensive there. But it's a nice location. Marin County is beautiful. I mean, it was nice living a half hour from the beach. You know, you didn't get the ocean wind all day long, but anytime you wanted the ocean, you know, it was close. And that was nice. And I met a lot of interesting people there. really interesting people. A lot of them. Somerville, the town, has an interesting story. I met the mayor and the chief of police there, and I'm not commenting on their politics in any way, but they seemed like, decent people to me. I'm trying to figure out what to make my YouTube channel about. Yeah, it's kind of a neat novelty. I built this van, and that's cool, and I like it. And Northern California is pretty, and I'm reluctant to leave because of its beauty. And I still can make money here, only because I know a lot of people, and I'm starting to have somewhat of a decent reputation at this stuff. So I could go to just about any town in Northern California and set up shop, so to speak. Now, what I enjoy doing is going to a lot of campgrounds and things like that. But sometimes, to work and gather resources, I have to do some stealth camping, or it makes the most sense to do stealth camping. Now that gets tricky. When you come into a town and you're doing stealth camping, you need to have a strategy where you're going to park at night and where you're going to park during the day. Now, most of the time when I'm working, I just park there. But if I'm not working that day, or I'm waiting to work, maybe that week or something, one of the great activities around where I'm at right now is fishing. Me and Donna like to do a lot of fishing when we can. Actually, that's how I got this knock right there. I fell on some rocks. But Western civilization is collapsing, and you see it very clear here in California. I would kind of like to look into that, to document it, to display it. Hopefully this video is more watchable. It might actually make it on YouTube. If it does, please like and subscribe. And if you make a comment to a video you would like to see me make, I'll try to do that. I'm going to be getting more equipment in the future to make better videos. I'm practicing. Please have a good day. And that's about all I have to say. Thanks for your time.